welcome back to the channel. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Big Ball Vlogs. I do reviews, news, everyday vlogging, and every once in a while I'll do a tutorial. If this video is somewhat educational or entertaining, please consider smashing that like button and maybe subscribing to the channel for new videos when I post them. So just got done shooting a video, uploading to YouTube. I was about to do some aquarium maintenance that I do every Sunday. And the folks from Relassy, if you haven't seen it, I did a review on one of their other lights. I'll put a card somewhere here. Sent me another light to take a look at. It's one of their newer lights, and they wanted me to do another review to post to YouTube and Amazon. So let's get into the box and see what it can do. Alright, so you guys know I don't normally do unboxings, but I don't think I did an unboxing on the last one, so I'm just going to show you how the box comes. Generic box, brown box, just a barcode in one corner, Relassy in the other box, no other branding on it. Inside the box, the light is well packed in some styrofoam material. Pull out the first piece of styrofoam material, and inside you get the Relassy thank you card. Maybe I did do one because I remember saying here's the email address if you need to contact them, and their warranty is good for 2 years, 24 months if I'm not mistaken. You also get the user manual. User manual tells you kind of how to use the light, suggested usage, restrictions. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm just going to throw this stuff on the floor, by the way. Like I said, I was just doing some quick maintenance, and really I got to clean up afterwards anyway. Also inside the box you get power cord. You get some hanging wire and a carabiner and some little clips to hook onto the light, and you get the light itself. Now I don't remember if I pulled this light out of the box the last time, so I'm going to do it this time to show you how it comes. It comes folded in half. It's 22 inches long, about 11 inches on each side, and it unfolds like this. So bring that out, get that piece of foam out of there, then I'm going to flip this over, and there is your light. So difference between this light and the last light is that the last light was controlled by Bluetooth through an application. This light is controlled through manual controls, and we're going to get into playing with it, seeing how it works, seeing how it functions. I will give you a quick update on the other light. My phone updated to Android 1 UI, and it crashed the app. And since it is a proprietary app, the light was pretty much unusable by Android, at least by my Android phone. But fortunately, I have an iPhone device which I could use, or if maybe you have an old Android tablet or old Android phone, that application should still be usable for you. So let's plug this in and go through the instructions, see how it works, and give me some impressions on what I think about it. Okay, change of plans. We're actually going to just balance on top of this bucket because in a minute I'm going to show you what this light looks like. But first, let's go through the user's manual and take a look at the changes that happen from one light to the other. Like I said, this light is manually controlled versus Bluetooth controlled like the other light. So generic information on the one side, you know, you get the light, you get the stainless steel hangers, you get the power cord, dimensions, how to hang it. Now on the other side, you're getting the basic instructions on how to use this light using the manual controls. Now this little icon right here says that if you cycle through that, it'll change the color from blue to white to blue and white. This control right here says that if you press this button that looks like, you know, some kind of cell phone bar, signal bar, it's going to go from 100 to 75, all the way down to 25. And it looks like after it turns off, it's going to go back to 25. So I'm thinking that it's going to cycle down and then cycle back up. I've had other lights that kind of work that way. Now, as I was kind of looking over this, just briefly, as I was setting up, I noticed a couple of things. Well, let's go to the Q&A. It asks whether or not you can use a timer. The answer is yes, you can put this on an external timer. I'm going to ask whether or not, if there's a power outage, it will save its previous settings, and it will not. Now, that's something I found out about the other light. It didn't say it in the instruction manual, but I actually unplugged it, plugged it back in, and all of my sunset, sunrise timers were off, and I had to reset it, and it was full 100% bright when I turned it back on. Now, this is the interesting question. It says, can you set 50% white and 100% blue? Now, that's something that reef guys normally want to do. They want to set their whites and blues. They want to turn the whites down and run the blues to give you more pop in the tank. Now, what I can tell you is, and I'll show you, because I got this because I saw this when I tried it on the other tank. Even though you can't run these channels independently, like you can't run low white with high blue to get that coral pop, This light produces absolutely amazing color on blue, white, maybe not white, but on blue and white, blue-white mixed together. So maybe that's what I want to say. So this light shows amazing color in only blue or blue-white mix. Under white, you're just going to get a plain bleached out white look. But I wanted to show you that in a second. But first, we're going to go through the actual light settings to see if it works the way that this instruction manual says it works. So I am going to, it's already on. I turned it off because it is blinding bright. I'm going to go to the cycle setting. No, I'm going to go to the brightness settings. I'm going to hit 1, and I am in all on right now. So all blues and whites are on. And I'm going to cycle through that. That's blue. That's just white. That's back to blue and white. Now if we go through the intensity settings, if I press once, it gets brighter, 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 dimmer, 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 eventually off, and then back on. Now, that last question, can you control them independently? So we're back on, and if I were to go to blue, it's at the same intensity. And then if I go back to white, it's at the same intensity, and then back to blue and white. Now, for instance, if I go all the way up here and then cycle through, it's all the way up on each channel. So you cannot control them independently. So really quickly, I want to set this up over the tank, and I want to show you what these colors look like in my aquarium, where I have a couple of corals in there. You can almost see it now just because the light is shining up on the tank. Look at the color in that frog spawn under these blue and whites. Okay, so this is all blue. I'm going to just lean this over my tank right now. Let me get it so I can change the channels, change the colors. So this is all blue, and I wish I could see how that looks. Let me see if I can peek back and see how that looks. So all blue right now at its lowest intensity, and that freaking hammer coral, or no, that frog spawn is on fire. Look at the color on that torch. Look at the color on my Scully if you can. Look at the color. You can't see my Montipora way back in there, but it is a bright pink, and it's a little bit bleached out because I had it under T5s at a high intensity, and a lot of the corals in there are bleached out, and I had to change out the bulbs. So let's go through the intensity settings real quick. So that's, and I'm going to raise this about, in fact, I want to raise this. I don't know why corals always tend to get tangled up. Okay, tangled up on the floor. So I'm going to raise this to, I don't know, good 12 plus inches above the tank. I'm going to cycle through the intensity. So that's the lowest. That's going to be off. So lowest, 50%, 75%, 100%. And I am a good, I don't know, 12 inches above the tank, maybe a little bit more than that. And look at the colors in my Scully. Look at the colors in that freaking rainbow bubble tip over there. Look at the colors in that. I call it staghorn and Montipora back there. Everything is on fire right now. So what I wanted to show you was, even though you can't, I'm going to go back down. I'm going to go off, all the way down. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go back on. And I'm going to take this and change it to white and blues. Now, even though you can't change the channels independently, look at the color you still get under blue and whites. Look at the color on that frog spawn. This looks crystal clear white. The color's still popping on my Scully, still popping on the frog spawn, and I can still see, even though it takes a little bit more blue light, I can still see a little bit of color pop on both a piece of chalice in there, where you really can't see the mouths on that chalice unless it's under intense blue lights. And I can see a little bit of, pop on a pretty bleached out Montipora. Now if I go up, again, I'm going to raise this about 12 inches above the tank. I'm going to cycle through, brighter. It's still, that frog spawn looks amazingly green, brighter. If you like that clear white with color pop, now those, what do you call them, zinnias are bleached looking white in this right now, but everything with color still has a little bit of pop to it. And that's even brighter, so everything looks really good. Fish look amazing under there. Rainbow anemone still looks good, bubble tip still looks good. And then I'm going to come back down. Now I'm enough freaking my fish out for tonight. Alright, back to hand holding. So, and enough freaking my fish out, like I said. So, first off, I got the light for free, but they asked me to do an honest review. And I got to tell you, I was impressed by the color that I get out of this light when I run it in blue and blue and white channels mixed together. Now, all white, I never run all white because it just makes even the most colorful corals look just bleached out under all white. But what I am shocked about is the fact that running this with the two color spectrums running at the same time, the full white and blue mixture, it still produces amazing colors. I have at least, I don't know, 2 other LED light systems that I bought that I do not like because when I run the whites, it looks too bleached out and it just doesn't give you that color pop. Now, this is a 300-watt light system, which I'm telling you pumps out the par, and it only costs about $90. I don't know of another light system out there right now that you can get for 300 watts out of for about $90. Even those cheaper Chinese boxes like the 165 this or that, they run about 100 plus, and at 300 watts, you're probably looking closer to 200 plus. So I say all of that to say that I really do like this light. I think that I am on the fence about the fact that you can't change the different color spectrums independently, but you still get that amazing color pop out of it. It's just like a lot of reefers like to use just the blue spectrum and not the white spectrum. So maybe Relassy will hear this and say, hey, let's go back to the drawing board on this one and make the channels independently controlled. And, you know, people will jump on this like hotcakes because this thing can put out power. The thing I like about it is the fact that you get like a cross between LEDs and T5s. By that, I mean, I ran the Chinese black boxes and they just leave shadows all over the place because those magnifying glasses just create these beams of light that just go straight down to the bottom of the tank and leave a lot of different shadowing. On my tank, I've got this little archway system, and it looks dark underneath there. When I turn the T5s on, that tank is full of light, and I get the same effect from these LEDs. You also don't get that disco ball effect or that shimmer effect that you get from other lighting systems because the LEDs are so far apart that they're kind of shimmering off the water surface and giving you that, like, you know, literally disco ball effect where shimmers, some people call it shimmer, some people call it disco ball effect. But you also get the pop. You get the brightness of the T5s, but you get the pop in color of the LEDs. I mean, even though this one doesn't have UVs in it, all of my corals are absolutely on fire, and I love it. You're going to have to make a decision on whether or not you want to use the Bluetooth version or the manual control version. If you want all blues and want to save a couple bucks, I say the manual version is the way to go. If you want a little bit of variety in your color spectrums, maybe play with it and tweak it a little bit, I would say the Bluetooth version is the way to go, but you're going to pay about $10 more. In any case, I will leave links, affiliate links to both of these in the description below. If you like them, please go over and take a look at them through my links and buy them with your Amazon Prime account. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, I have also included an Amazon Prime trial link. So, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. I'll get back to you soon. Talk to you later.